place that men and women meet to acknowledge the highest truth is holy ground. This is truly holy ground where we pause to join in collective gratitude. Those of you who have your masks on may drop, providing you stay seated. The rule here is if you're walking, you're wearing. So if you get up or someone comes near you, please put your mask on. Now, if you came with someone, it's okay if you pull your seats together. If you want to. You don't have to. Okay. We won't make you. I'm Kara Seekings, and I'm Vice President of the LilyDale Assembly. Today, on behalf of the Assembly and all of us, we welcome you to our 141st season. Who's here for the first time today? To you, we say welcome to LilyDale. To the rest of you, we say welcome home, old friends. And next year, new folks will be saying that to you too. Once you come, you usually come back. I ask that you stay seated and bow your heads and join me in the invocation. Mother, Father, God, infinite creator of all that is, was, and ever will be, we gather on this beautiful Thursday. We gather in love. We gather in celebration. We gather together that we might be reminded there are like-minded people with whom we can share our reality. We welcome the spirit of nature as its beauty and its serenity surrounds us. We welcome the spirit of the trees with their cool shade and shelter. We welcome the spirit of the air as the leaves sing and make our heart shade and shelter. We welcome the spirit of the air as the leaves sing and make heart shade and shelter. Lost where I was. We welcome the spirit of water that quenches us and refreshes us. We welcome the fires that warm our homes and hearts. We welcome the spirit of all living things that offers fascinating glimpses, strange and wondrous things. We welcome our ancestors in spirit that they may rejoice with us and give thanks for our abundance, our blessings, our opportunities, and the joys of our lives. Now, on the platform you will see ferns and a few flowers and this and that. I love it when there are flowers up here. I've actually been so bad about it, I've made someone who is here today feel badly. So she brings in flowers for us. But you may also add to our floral display. I love having greenery. I think it brings that piece of nature into us. If you would like to honor beautiful flowers, don't feel like you couldn't just slide some in, because we wouldn't be refusing. The other nice thing about it is if you remember to slide in a little card with me, then I will spend, and it does seem like I will be the person here most of the summer, so I will announce your memorial or your gift from the podium. Some of the flowers have been given in memory of Andrew Babinski, one of our board members' brothers. Other flowers have been sent to us, and this is just such a lovely thing, from Reverend Noel McCason, who is the Reverend, those of you who are Rochester people, she is the Reverend at Divine Inspiration in, I always do this wrong, it's either Appleton or Appleyard in Rochester. So their church sent us lovely flowers. We also lost recently one of our beloved mediums to spirit, Stephanie Turchak. And there are flowers here in loving memory of Stephanie Turchak as well. So don't hesitate, come on, donate. We love it. Okay, now that I'm done begging for that, I'm so sorry. I really am very bad about it, and I admit that. such a glorious thing to me to have the opportunity to bring in greenery and surroundings. So, on that note, we are going to raise the vibration for today's speaker. And we're going to do that by standing up. Our absolutely great guy, Nick, is going to put the words up on the screen to In the Garden, and many of you know it. Now, you're going to want to sing because I can't hear the tune in a bucket, and you're going to hear it. Today's speaker, has been a resident of LilyDale since May of 2010 after visiting for 9 years. I told you guys you'd come back. She recently retired from a nursing career of 50 years, including 18 years in an open heart surgery, elder care, child care, and medical office management and transcription. After certification from the New York College of Holistic Medicine on Long Island, she was involved for 16 years in a practice of complementary medicine as a certified AMA therapist, RN. This is a branch of Oriental medicine, including body energy work, herbal remedies, aromatherapy, and the use of nutrition and supplements. She studied with various teachers as a proving shaman, another way to speak to Mother Earth, after that and that which we call God, and maintains a healing medicine altar in her home. She became an ordained spiritualist minister in 25 after serving as a deaconess for the Journey Within Spiritualist National Union Church. It is the first spiritualist church in the United States to be affiliated with the Spiritualist Union. She now volunteers as a healer in the LilyDale Healing Temple. Please join me in welcoming our friend and neighbor, Hope Harper.
Good afternoon. I am not such a hot speaker, but I'm a good reader. So if I don't keep eye contact with you, please forgive me. I'm not nervous, which makes me a little nervous coming up here. I'd like you first to take a deep breath and close your eyes. So we all join together in energy. Please repeat after me. I am one with the universal mind.
I am one with the universal mind.
I am pure, spirit, and infinite.
I am pure, spirit, and infinite.
I am.
I am.
I always was.
I always was.
I always will be.
I always will be.
But as usual, when I'm asked to speak, I ask Spirit for the words would be of most value for me and those I address. In other words, a learning for all of us. I'm sure you've listened for some time to the opinions of many people about the things that will come to pass regarding this virus. If you have gone to the movies or listened to the news, you've heard or read lots of words as if each person is the ultimate authority. Many of the messages are fearful ones. Some, which I prefer, are about the changes in the universal consciousness for the better, bringing honesty, compassion, love, joy, abundance, not only to our planet, but to the whole solar system and universe. If you listen to the news, most of the information is negative, and not only about the virus. I haven't had TV or news for about 9 years, which is a choice I have made. There are all of those that say that they need to know what's going on and that I am sticking my head in the sand like an ostrich. I think that the news is mostly someone's opinion of what someone else has said. It's not always the truth, but calculated to keep people fearful. There certainly isn't much good news. Of course, that's the way I think and doesn't need to apply to anyone else. I'm sure I've said before that the opinions expressed here are not those of the management. Perhaps we only have to understand that what or whom we have been taught to pray to for help and healing is really inside all of us. The kingdom of heaven is within, said Jesus the Christ, and that we are indeed a part of the Creator and can change our reality by thinking and believing it. God is eternal, cause and effect. Perhaps we only need to love with all that is, that which is a part of each of us. The Beatles sang, "Love is all there is," but the world still hasn't heard them. All is one and all is love. Somebody here must know the Beatles. It is said that the universal mind has made itself manifest through all of us, that we are source energy in a human form. We are created by and for the Creator God, all that is, and all the other names by which we address that which we call God. How many names are there, do you suppose? As many as there are of us. Sometimes the things I have just said are real and I understand and believe it. Then a little later I think, that's a crazy way to think. Then I'm back to the beginning again, believing it. Each time I have trusted it, it works. Why am I surprised? You know, my favorite phrase, which was given to us by Gandhi, is, "I must be the change I wish to see in the world." One of the principles of spiritualism is that there's personal responsibility. What we think, do, and say changes the vibration in the universe. And if you don't believe it, say a few times, "I don't have enough. Give me a break. I can't remember. I don't have enough time. I understand. I can't swallow that one," and see what happens. These are examples of phrases I used to use, and I got what I created with my words. Not enough money, things breaking, not remembering, not having enough time, and an upset stomach. My point in all this is that we are able to create the world we want if we believe that we are part of God, the Creator, who creates through us. We can make this time a positive one, not the destruction of our planet, as suggested by the fearmongers, but an ending of the way we see things now in a better world. I they didn't walk their talk. Maybe it was a religious leader, a law enforcement officer, a lawyer, a teacher, politician, parent. You know, everyone does the best they can to do with the tools at their disposal. They are all human. We don't know what makes up their belief systems or what things have caused them to be the way they are. You need to walk a mile in someone's shoes. Just be yourself. Who else is better qualified? Forgiveness is a part of the new way we might think of living. Forgiving ourselves and others, being loving, understanding, and not judgmental, rather than fearful, angry, or resentful. Is it such a tall order? I forgive myself for ever thinking I did anything wrong. I did the best I could at the time. There's a book about a Hawaiian healer who did amazing things with a prayer called the Ho'oponopono, which translates to make right or rectify an error. And the thought is, I am sorry, please forgive me, I thank you, and I love you. These are some quotes from Louise Hay. Stop all criticism. Criticism never changes a thing. Refuse to criticize yourself. Accept yourself exactly as you are. Everybody changes. When you criticize yourself, your changes are negative. When you approve of yourself, your changes are positive. Don't scare yourself. Stop terrorizing yourself with thoughts. It's a dreadful way to live. Find a mental image that gives you pleasure and immediately switch your scary thought to a pleasure thought. I have a little book, and when I'm riding on the edge of a road and think, wow, what if I went down there, I say to my mind, put that in your scary book. Be kind to your mind. Self-hatred is only hating your own thoughts. Don't hate yourself for having the thoughts. Gently change your thoughts. Praise yourself. Criticism breaks down the inner spirit. Praise builds it up. Praise yourself as much as you can. Tell yourself how well you're doing with every little thing. Support yourself. Find ways to support yourself. Reach out to friends and allow them to help you. It is being strong to ask for help when you need it. Be loving to your negatives. Acknowledge that created them to fulfill a need. Now you are finding new positive ways to fulfill those needs. So lovingly release the old negative patterns. Take care of your body. Learn about nutrition. What kind of fuel does your body need to have optimum energy and vitality? Learn about exercise. What kind of exercise can you enjoy? Cherish and revere the temple you live in. Love yourself. Do it now. Don't wait until you get well or lose the weight or have the new job or the new relationship. Begin now and do the best you can. When you think about your life, you sometimes wish for your cure-all and easy-to-swallow remedy that makes you physically whole and gives you financial security, wisdom, confidence, and harmony in your relationships. There is such a remedy, the love of God. The love of God is healing love. This love turns pain into peace, doubt into faith, lack into abundance, sorrow into joy. The love of God is not something you have to wait for. It exists now for you and for everyone. God's love is within you, and to experience its healing qualities, you need only realize it, accept it, and express it. Whether your need is for physical, mental, emotional, spiritual, or financial healing, dear friend, the love of God will make you whole. The love of God will heal anyone or any condition that you may be concerned about. If your need for healing is physical, let the love of God flow in and through you. Feel it as it courses through your veins, transporting healing energy. Know that there is no condition beyond the healing power of God. The power of love. Love your body and do what the divine love tells you to take care of it. Know that divine love exists in every cell, and that nothing but wholeness can endure in divine love. Affirm, the love of God is powerfully at work in me. I am whole and vitally alive. When you want spiritual healing, know that divine love draws you ever nearer to God. In this awareness, your soul unfolds like a rose reaching for the warmth of the sun. You develop a new sense of peace and a wholeness that you can feel beyond the mental or physical level. You feel it deep within you soul. To help in your spiritual growth, affirm, I feel the love of God deep within me, and I grow nearer to God every day. Love of God heals relationships, for it is unconditional, inviting this perfect love into your heart and see the eyes of love as you interact with others. You'll find there are no slights, there are no hurts, for divine love hears with understanding ears and sees only good. Divine love, when expressed to others, attracts loving people into your life. If you are seeking a companion to share your life with, or if you want new friendships, pray that you may more fully express the love of God that is within you. As you express divine love, it returns to you in the form of happy experiences, lasting friendships, and loving companionship. You may say that if you have opened your heart to God's healing love, and that the answer has not come, don't give up. Keep praying. Keep thinking thoughts of love about the conditions in your life. Keep speaking words of love to yourself and others. And uphold God. Open your heart to God. Let divine love heal you, guide you, and uphold you. Let divine love heal your friends and dear ones in whatever way is needed. See with the eyes of love. Hear with the ears of love. And think only of divine love, and your life will change for the better. You'll find that everything is being healed and that all is truly well. Maybe we only have to sit in the quiet of meditation daily to connect with that wisdom and knowing. It seems to be a thing worth trying rather than continuing to live someone else's ideas of who I am or need to be, or the words or masks they think I need. Perhaps we don't need to wait. Perhaps we can begin today in this moment, which is, as many of the master teachers through the ages say, the only moment there is. If we are not in the moment, we are living in the past, which is a memory trace that cannot be changed, or imagining a future that may never happen, setting ourselves up for disappointment or other negative response. Of course, we all have the free will to choose. There are many teachings reminding us that we are responsible for the choices we make and are therefore able to change them. Remember that words are thoughts, and words and thoughts are things, so make them the ones you wish to represent your reality. Thank you for listening today. I wish you peace, blessings, truth, and compassion. Thank you both.
Forgot my word. Okay, this is the time when normally we would pass the basket. But of course, given COVID restrictions, we're not passing any basket today. Over on the counter.
It's there.
Okay, from here I can't see.
There's a basket.
Over in the counter, the basket is there for donations. People who joined us on live streaming, there's a little button that says donate, and we certainly would appreciate it. And because I'm a believer, I want to tell you that we give thanks for every penny you have donated in the past. It helps us keep this 1883 auditorium going. It also helps us restore, but also update a bit. Believe me, in 1883, there were not lights or fans like this. Any money gotten here stays in the auditorium because we realize how precious this is to us. And because I do believe, if you don't mind, I'd like to do a lesson. Infinite source of all that is. Bless these gifts and those who give them. May the givers be blessed 1,000-fold. The gifts be wisely used in the search for truth. And again, Lord, we give grateful thanks for the abundance that's flowing to each of us and to LilyDale Son. Amen. Now, there is always something to do in LilyDale. This is Thursday, so let me look at my Thursday list. Today, at 8 p.m. online, there is a fun development circle with Joanne Copley-Negro. Some of you know Joanne from the Healing Temple broadcast. And Marianne Pace-Steiner, and I invite you to join it. There's a $10 fee for it. And each week there is a new topic on mediumship and psychic development. The LilyDale bookstore, which is right out this room. I am one person who does not need this microphone. The bookstore is right outside this door and down the path. It is open. The bargain shop on East Avenue, Bob has such a collection. And also there's a very beautiful shop called Once Upon a Thursday on East Avenue, who has lovely things as well. I don't know, I can't go anywhere without shopping as well. I just want to know where the shopping is. So that's where the shopping is. You know that we have a picnic pavilion. We do ask that you maintain social distance, however. We also have a lovely beach. Now, the rules of the beach are this. The beach is open 11 to 6. Lifeguards are the boss. I happen to be the board's building and grounds person. So we have really good lifeguards. And when they ask people at 6 to leave, because the beach is closed. That's all. You know, please don't be offended. Understand that we can't allow you to swim without a safety net. So the lifeguards are our safety net. We appreciate your attention to that. Hungry? Dollhouse has lots of good food. And there's never a bad day for ice cream. This is the first time in many, many years that the Assembly has operated the ice cream shop ourselves. And it's really kind of exciting, guys. And next year I'm voting for creams in addition to stuff they offer. But so help yourself at the ice cream shop. They'd love to see you. Now, who here has walked a labyrinth? Sandy, you don't count, all right? Okay, she really does. She really does count. But we have one of the nicest labyrinths up on East Avenue. Now, every July, I belong to the Magdalena for Peace Society, and every July, in all the countries around the world, the Magdalenas have gathered and walked a labyrinth. This year, we'll do it 6 feet apart, I betcha. We chant for peace when we do that. You may use our labyrinth, folks, to chant for anything that you want. It's a great time to focus, to set attention. And the coolest thing, the thing is only like a foot high. I can't do a real labyrinth or a real maze because I'm very claustrophobic. I'm afraid. But this one is great because you can see all over. You're not closed in. So if you've never walked a labyrinth, please go up and walk ours. Also, we have fairy trail. Now, whether you're a believer or not, doesn't matter. Fairy trail is a fun thing to do, and a nice day to do it today. There are restrooms available in the red building right here, but I would caution you, if you have any, how do I say this? If you're like me and have any well-upholstered students, the restrooms in the red building are teeny. They're perfectly usable, they're just teeny. There are also restrooms in the exterior entrances to the fire hall, outside on the side by the picnic pavilion. There are also wonderful restrooms in the Healing Temple, one of which is completely and totally handicap accessible. The other thing we have are several porta facilities, and again, some of those are handicap want you to be as comfortable and have as good a time as you possibly can in these days of COVID. We understand and we're very proud of something, folks. We have not had a COVID hospitalization in Lily. And when you consider that, honestly, I'm not much older than the median age. I'm a little, but not much. We're doing so well, and we want to keep it that way. And I know when you came in, you saw the long list at the gates. Law is the law is the law. And as much as we are firm believers in the spiritual laws, we also live in New York State. And so we're firm believers that we will abide by the laws. That's what all this is about. And if you're if you're walking, wear it. We all got that. No problem. Walking, wear it. Okay, well, I've now had long enough, and I don't want to take much of Paul's time. Now, again, it's always fun to introduce folks. Paul Hodges happens to be my neighbor. He also, at one point, was sort of a student of mine. And folks, I am so proud of the skill he has brought forward that I could birth. He is an orthopedic physical therapist, but a darn thing goes to Arizona in the summer, or in the winter. So they get all this good stuff out there. But then he comes back here. He is a registered medium. He is a certified healer. He's also a certified medium at Plymouth Spiritualist Church in Rochester, New York. He also has one of the finest dogs, whose name is Luna, that you have ever met. She is gorgeous. The other part of Paul's life, Paul is the guitar man. Please join me in welcoming Paul.
Are we not going to sing?
Oh, Paul's going to lead it. I did it again, darn it. No, this is the second time in 2 weeks, I think, I've done this. Let's raise the vibrator. Although, here's what it is. Paul is like Jesse Phillips. And like someone who's in this audience, who we won't call by name. They don't need vibration rates, folks. They vibrate at a higher level. But we're going to raise it anyway. We are going to sing Lost Night in the sunlight of today.
Thank you. Three ladies here, gentlemen in the back. Everybody else has had messages. Let me just explain to those who've never had a message kind of how it goes. Understand that I see, hear, feel, talk to the people around here. Might not be somebody you're expecting or whatever, but I can assure you they're there if I'm telling you about them. As they come in, they're here to chat with you very briefly, because there's a bunch of people. I'm going to try to get to as many of them as I can, many of you as I can. Sometimes, especially if you're younger folks, you don't know who it is, take it home and ask the old people. Chances are they can put their finger on who that was. I'm not sorry to say, but I'm one of the old people now. You know, people are saying, my great-grandparents, they're as old as my parents. And I'm like, whoops, it's happened. So,
Sure, not old.
I'm one of the old people, honey. I can talk about myself in any way I want. All right, let's see what we got here today. If you can't hear me, just let me know. If I follow away from the microphone. Two ladies way in the back. Hi. Hi. Yeah, that's you. Would you like a message? Absolutely. Both of you together?
She said she doesn't care.
No, are you together?
Yes, we are together.
So like mother-daughter kind of?
Niece.
That works.
Yep.
Okay. Names, please?
Megan and Eve. Megan and Eve.
Eve? Hi. Megan, as I come in around you, you have a woman who comes in who would have sat very much like you. It feels very much like when she sat, she took up her space and she was good with it. A day like today would have been hot for her. She would have been wiping her brow and oh my God, it would have been hot. She would have said it a million times. Just like she might have been one of those ladies who wore dresses and she'd hold things in kind of in the lap of the dress and like that. But very much about being hot towards the end. Life got pretty unbearable for her, but she did the best she could making it through. You carry on from her, understand that please, and that you're the matriarch of the family. Eve, you're just taking everything in. All of this is exciting. Life is exciting right now. It's like, what do I do first? What do I do first? It's like having $100 and going into the candy store. What do you get first? And always keep that attitude because it's going to serve you well, very much so. Get ready for the fall. It's going to be busy for you. It's going to be weird, but it's going to be busy. And I'm going to leave that with you two ladies. The three ladies, you related? Friends?
Yeah.
Okay, I'm going to start with you. Hi. Would you like a message?
Yes.
Name?
Danielle.
Hi, Danielle. You have a gentleman who comes in around you. As he comes in, his hair would have been pushing back. I'm going to call him, he would have been on the sturdy side. Understand, I get three wits to deal with. I get slender, average, and sturdy. He was a bit on the sturdy side, it feels like. He would also had hip or leg problems when he moved around, trying to get from point A to point B. Very much so. The rest of them was halfway decent, he said. He's got a sense of humor. The rest of them was halfway decent. It felt just like as he got older, it was hard for him to get around. You're very bright. You know way more than he ever knew, even though you don't show it sometimes. You kind of hold things in. You're not one to let things out and push it out there. He said, but please do so. Understand you can lead people. That can be your task in life, and just take that forward. Thank you. Lady in the middle there. Hi.
Hi.
Name?
Kaylee.
Kaylin?
Kaylee. Yep.
Got it. C or K?
C.
Very good. Kaylee, you have a gentleman around you? Do you have a gentleman and a lady both around you? And I don't know who's who coming forward. It feels like, as I said to the woman over there, the lady sits like you. Understand that when you're there, you're there. And it feels like the gentleman would be, it'd be almost, she'd be more active than he would later on. Feels like we're going old school. He would sit down, relax. She'd do a little more, sit also. There's very much that type of thing. She was a woman that always had to get things done, get the job done, make sure everything was okay. She would have had issues down through here before she passed over. This would not have been the best thing in the world. Feels like they've been together for a long, long time, and like, you know, some couples are just hitched. They're absolute, the term hitched is real. They were very much hitched. You're very much in charge, my dear. You're very much running the show. You lead things. You're very much in charge. You know that. You accept it. You know it. You accept the challenge. You're good for it. just make sure that you always be kind in where you want to go with others. It feels like your judgment is right, just be kind. You tend to be able to call people stupid pretty quick. Really kind of put a lid on that at certain times and just, don't do it. But your judgment is usually right. Be kind. Make sure that in life, relationships and like that, that they're on board with you. If they're not, you're going to have one heck of a hard time. I'm going to leave that with you. Hi.
Hello.
What's your name?
Bethany?
Hi, Bethany. How are you? Would you like a message?
Yes, please.
That'll work. You have a gentleman who comes in around you, and very much the tone of your voice is bringing on the tone of his voice. Feels like he still would have had hair when he crossed over. He would have been a sweetheart, an absolute sweetheart. It feels like there would have been just a lot of love around this guy. He would have been just a really sweet old man. And people would know it. They would just get it. He was kind and gentle and like that. And, you know, he might have had a little wild side back in the day, but by the time everybody else came around, it was all there. You're also a sweetheart. You're good. You're a great follower. You really are. You're a great. My mom used to say, I'm a horrible leader, but I'm a great follower. Just I hope whoever's leading knows where they're going. And that's going to be your trial in life, is to just hope that whoever's leading knows where they're going. Because you've got a lot of loyalty in you, honey. When you do things, you're in. You're all in. You know, I don't know if you're married or if that ever comes down the road. When you say till death do you part, you're not kidding. So just remember that in others, that you very much have that quality. It's a very good quality, and some people don't take it seriously. So please just go along with it. I'm going to leave that with you. Gentlemen in the back, how are you?
Good, how you doing?
Good. Would you like a message?
Absolutely.
First name?
Colin.
Colin?
Correct.
You're my second one this week. Interesting. Except you don't look anything alike. Colin, is it coming around you? Do you have whiskers by chance?
Pardon me?
Do you have a beard?
A little bit.
Yeah. It's hard for me to see back at that distance if you do or not. That's the only reason I'm asking. There's a gentleman who came in. He's going to be slender build. We're going back. We're definitely, I'm going to say we're at least back World War II time and like that with him. He would not have had whiskers, and it would have been something that he just wouldn't have done. Feels like he had issues in the stomach abdominal area before he crossed over. He had a sense of humor. Very much a sense of humor. Almost kind of like I don't want to say, I don't mean this specifically, but it feels, you know how people from Ireland have a specific sense of humor. It's kind of quippy and quick. There was a sense of humor like that. It feels like he would have been missing some hair on top of his head. Wouldn't have had it all, but would have had enough that it could keep him warm in the wintertime, he said. As he comes in around you, you're very handy with your hands and doing things. It feels like you know how to fix things and you know how to make things right. And he says it's a good thing to have. And it's also a good thing, and it feels like if you are married or with somebody else, you know how to turn a deaf ear. And he says that's also a good thing. It's a good thing you should not hear everything that's said to and or about you. I'm going to leave that with you. Where am I going here? Do we have any other pairings at all? Families or anything? You're with him?
Yeah.
Okay, what's your name, dear?
Carrie.
Carrie? Okay, I don't want to mess up a name. Hi, Carrie. Would you like a message? Okay, let's see. You very much have a... Well, I'm going to say a gentleman. I'm not sure if it's a lady or a gentleman. It feels like I got two coming in. You have a very particular forehead, ma'am, from what I can see. You've got kind of a high forehead a little bit, kind of rounds out. And this would also have been a feature for this person also. Very much kind of a high forehead. I want to say a woman, but it keeps feeling like a man. So please forgive me if I get kind of confuddled because I'm getting different information here. With you, you know what you want. You know how to get it. And it feels like you're good at doing that. You know how to get what you want. Sometimes you don't say it directly, but you know how to pull the strings and operate the motors and everything to get it. There's very much that. It's a he, and he says you're so darn cute that nobody can say no to you. So just remember, that's probably worked well over most of your life. Good for you. But it feels like you never met a sweet that you couldn't eat. Either that's him or you or him or whatever. And he says there's nothing wrong with that. He says as long as you keep your set of teeth, you're fine. And I'm going to leave that with you. Where am want the young lady down here. You've never had a message before, have you?
No, sir.
What is your name, young lady?
Gerta.
Gerta. Jak się masz, Gerta?
Bardzo dobrze.
Yeah, she's doing it. You have a gentleman who comes in around you. As he comes in, you would have shared a nose with him, or that nose would run on that side of the family. It very much feels like he would have heart issues throughout his life, and it feels like he might have felt them. He might never have said anything, but he always felt that squeezing in his chest and like that. He was a gentleman who very much had an opinion. He was slender, and he would have an opinion. He loved a good, he would almost call it an argument. He just loved a good argument. He could just, it would start out and then it would start out. And he was very much that way. He would get in and he always had an opinion on things. And there's very much that. You very much in the same way, he says, you have an opinion on things. And he says, there's nothing wrong with having an opinion. He says, everybody's got one. It's your birthright. You can have as many as you want. He's very proud of you for what you're doing. You're helping people. It feels like something he wished that he could have done more of in his lifetime. But it feels like he wasn't able to do it. There was a lot that this gentleman had that he was never able to bring out. And I'm going to leave him with you. Thank you.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Oh, let's see. I've got... Hi.
Hi.
How are you?
I'm good.
Would you like a message?
Certainly.
First name?
Laura.
Laura?
Yes.
Is that L-A-R-A?
Laura.
All right, so Laura. Hi, Laura. You have a lady who comes in around you, and as you just laugh, she would have laughed very much like you. You feel she was on the slender side as yourself, and very much hardworking, very hardworking, good, strong work ethic. But when she sat down, she just loved to laugh and carry on. But there was a sense of decency, civility, and restraint, she says. All of those three things were kind of all bundled in together, but it would just be good. You did what you did, and she had everything in place. She had a place for everything and everything in its place. You're not far off from that, my dear. You know that, don't you?
Yes, sir, I do.
Yes, you're not far off from that. Your ideas go into different places, but when it comes right down to it, you're still one of the family, she says, and that's okay. They love you for what you are. Again, keep the pragmatic, keep that going because it's good. She says, in that you will find peace. She says, what's out there today is not peaceful. Everybody's thinking thoughts that are not peaceful. She says, in the pragmatic, there's peace. There's peace in sweeping the floor. There's peace in weeding a garden. She says, that's where you're going to find your peace in life. I'm going to leave that with you. Young lady to my left, your right. Hi. Had a message.
Patty.
Hi, Patty. Would you like one?
Yes.
You related to her in any way, shape, or form?
She's my friend.
That'll work. Patty, as I come in around you very much, as I'm looking at you, I'm looking at a woman in spirit. It feels like the glasses, the cheeks, and that. Your hair is very different. I'm going to say she was on the sturdy side of life. And she would have had issues down through here before she passed over. She comes in wearing a dress, which takes me back to what I call old school, when women wore dresses most of the time. Again, down in through here, she's making a point about it. She says it's the worst place to have problems. It makes you spend a lot of time in the bathroom, she's saying. She's like, and based on that, for you, it feels like you're reaching a point where you can finally catch your breath. Good for you. Yay. Do it. Don't take on any new challenges, especially if they're... Okay? She's really adamant on this. Let everybody raise themselves from here on out. It's like just kind of like, now you got your lunch, go to school. Just go on, get out of here. It's that time. It's time for you. You've got some rethinking and some relearning. Not relearning, but rethinking to do. It's kind of like, what do I want to be when I grow up? Oh my God, I'm grown up, but still, what do I want to be? I'm going to leave that with you. What do I got? Lady with the St. Francis football. Oh, honey, if you don't know what you got on and it says that, I feel sorry for you. Hi. Would you like a message? What's your name? Renee? Hi, Renee. You have both a man and a woman who comes in around you. The woman would have been very much like you. She would have just been a little sweetheart. As she comes in, she's probably about 5 foot and change. I'm going to say she's on the average to slender side. You're very bubbly in many ways, and so would she have been too. It feels like she would have been joined at the hip to her we'll call him a husband because it feels like I'm back in those days. He wouldn't have had much hair on his head. But she was always, what can I get you? What can I get you? If you're not Italian, it feels Italian. What can I get you? What do you want? You want something to eat? You want something to drink? What are we going to do for you here? There's very much that, and there's very much that's you. You're just that type of person. People take advantage of people like you. Hate to say it, but it's true. Understand that it's nothing personal. They just see it in an opportunity. Don't lose your kindness, they're saying. And I'm going to leave that with you. Where do we go? Got a lady sitting here all by herself with a mask. Hi, honey. You're the only one? You wouldn't? Okay, that's fine. Just thought I'd ask. Okay, let's see. How about the lady going towards the door with the glasses on? Hi. Would you like a message? What's your name?
Tracy.
Hi, Tracy. You have a woman who comes in around you, again, very much she would have sat in her space like you did. I don't think she could have crossed her legs. I think later on in life it was hard for her to do that. They would have been down, but she would have very much been there. Heart chest issues before she crossed over, very hard for her to get around. Felt like a wheezing old engine, she said, but she wasn't. That was just how it was. You have lots of work to do, honey. There's just lots to do around you, and it's never going to end. But it's not the bad stuff, it's the good stuff. It's like every day starts anew. There's more dirt where you just cleaned yesterday. But it feels like you got a great attitude when you get into it and go for it that way. And she likes you. I don't use the word love because it seems like it gets overused and kind of washed out. So I use the word like. She likes you. Okay, I'm going to leave that with you. Let's see, we're going to go up 2 seats. Hi.
Hi.
Would you like a message? What's your name?
Deborah.
Hi, Deborah. Ooh, old school. Oh my God, look. Deborah, you have a gentleman who comes in around you. As he comes in, I can just kind of see a silhouette of you, the way the light's hitting you, but it feels like along the shape of your face, you and he are very much from the same place. It feels like he would have had hair pushing back. He was tired when he died. He was just plumb wore out. Literally. Felt like he worked himself to death. And he wished that he could have gone longer and had more and all of that other stuff. He wished he had a redo card, where you go back to the factory and just get another one, but he didn't, and he's sorry because he missed out on a lot of stuff that he would have liked to have been around on. Feels like even though he was busy, he was always around you and like that. You tend to worry a lot, he says. Please just put it in your pocket sometimes. Just let good things happen, and then don't question if good things happen. He said, there really are some nice people out there. You just got to let them come to you sometimes. Well, I'm going to leave that with you. Let's see. I've got yada, 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 yada. You might pretty much, except for the ushers in my God, I think I pretty much got everything. All right, let's start with Sandy.
Sandy.
Hi, Sandy.
Hi.
You have a gentleman who comes in around you very much. He would have had high cheekbones also. Feels like he would have back in the day combed his hair. There's very much combing his hair. Kind of making sure it looks good back when they used the greasy kid stuff for that other stuff, Put it in there. That's why they had to have the things in the back of the chair so you wouldn't get the oil spots and everything on there. As he comes in, feels like he was a smoker. He used to do that kind of stuff too. Good-looking guy. At least he thought he was when he got all slicked up and slicked back. He's kind of laughing at you because you're into a lot of things. And he's kind of laughing, and it's like, oh, just take it easy, take it slow, But you're into everything. You're turning up. It's like you're turning up rocks. He says, don't be surprised if you find something under each rock that you turn up. Just don't make more work for yourself. I'm going to leave that with you. I got one more to hit. Gentleman over there.
Yes.
First name, please. Herb. Can I bring you a message? You have a gentleman who comes through, he would have still had hair when he passed over, not as long as yours. He would have been on the sturdy side, very much so. He would have been a hard-working guy, and he would have been one of those guys that always liked to fight with the kids. You know, he would have kind of come up to him and always wanted to kind of rough him up a little bit. As he comes in around you, it's like you got stuff to do around home. I don't know if outside your house or whatever, there's a bunch of stuff. Feels like you need to tidy up stuff like that. Make sure all that's done first. And I'm going to leave that with you, and thank you very much, everybody.
Thank you for serving Spirit. We're going to have to do something, Mary, to make me pay attention to that second song.
Well, I think I want to.
You did, and I thought, what is that Mary doing?
We're very formal here. Can't
Yes,
you
yeah,
tell?
yeah. This is a very relaxed environment. Mary and I have been together, let's see, probably since the 26th of June, other than Mary gets a day off every week, and I got a week off in there. So we've been together through all this, and I've looked that up several times. I hate doing it. It has been my pleasure today to serve the platform with Paul Hodges, with Hope Harvey, and our musician, Mary Matson, and our friend, Nick, who knows all there is to know about IT and keeps us on the air, and our usher, Herb, and all of you. It is definitely our privilege to share it. Please stand and bow your heads for the benediction and remain standing to let there be peace on you. God of our own understanding, now may you open your hearts to love in all its forms. Open our eyes with compassion that we might act mindfully and with integrity. See the humor in the joyous turnings of life, the gratitude for the thousands of blessings bestowed upon each of us. Honor our own wisdom and that of others. Seek growth to evolve, to learn, and may the Spirit of peace bless us this day and in all our days to come. We ask it all in the name of love.